more walkable. Seems like a good idea. But until then, we need to own a car, which means we need to buy a car, which means we need to maintain a car. It's not unlike when people rode horses, I guess, I assume. Your horse was your entire life. It was your personal vehicle, your delivery truck, and your coworker and possible romantic rival. There was a time on this earth until very recently when you absolutely had to own at least one horse or else you would almost certainly die. And horses are expensive. They eat oats. They eat so many oats. If you're looking at a horse, it is full of oats. You also have to take them to the horse mechanic every so often. And is the horse mechanic free? Cut to today, and as of 2021, the average American spends 20% of their monthly income on their car. For most people, it's the single biggest household expense aside from the housing itself. Currently, the average cost of a new car is $50,000, and about half that for a used car. That's a buttload of money. Many buttloads. Too many, in fact, for 80% of Americans who don't have 50 grand in dickin' around money. We'll never even see that much cash in the same room unless we find ourselves unwitting accomplices in a now you see me situation. Unfortunately, most of us are in more of a now you don't situation, but again, choosing not to own a car simply isn't an option. So people of average or limited means, aka most of us, end up getting a car loan with high interest rates and various tacked on fees to keep you on your toes like a salt packet full of wallet gremlins. The average car loan lasts for 6 years, with monthly payments of $742 for a new set of wheels and $525 for a car that strangers have farted in. Once that loan ends, you've not only paid as much as 25% more than the original cost of the vehicle, but all that money was essentially thrown into a pit because car ownership is a massive sunk cost, like investing in Pogs or NFTs of Pogs. Oh, whoa! I just invented those, didn't I? Did I? Ah! Oh well. The dream is dead. Anyway, your car loses almost all of its value the second you drive it off the lot, like a Pacific Rim doll tumbling out of its original packaging. As illustrated in this example by the New York Times, a brand new 2025 Toyota Camry SE purchased for $40,000 with a $3,000 down payment and the rest of the money in financing at 7.4% interest for 6 years will end up costing you $50,000 total. Meanwhile, that Camry will plummet in value every year of the loan, so that by the time you pay it off after 6 years, it's only worth about 14 grand, roughly 28% of that $50,000. That's like opening a savings account at a bank that is currently on fire. And so ultimately, car ownership is just this albatross that we're all forced to wear. Albatross also sounds like a car model. Maybe a Hyundai? I don't know. What I'm getting at here is that we love to think of cars as a product that reflects our unique identities. There are endless choices, in theory, for what kind of car we drive. We have countless ads for cars featuring celebrities and cool, windy roads, and we stuff cars in our movies and TV shows. For Pete's sake, David Lynch has directed car commercials.
Safe is not dangerous. Do you speak micro?
Boy, that doesn't make me want to buy a car at all. Kind of makes me want to live in the woods and make sculptures from animal skin. R.I.P., you beautiful freak. The point is, cars are part of our culture, because if they weren't, we might actually notice that we don't actually have a choice in the matter. And for a lot of people, we don't actually get to pick our car based on which celebrity endorsed it. We're just looking for whatever we can afford. Because the cost of a car doesn't simply stop at the purchase, of course. American households spend $1.6 trillion on transportation every year. And a lot of that is made up of expenses related to owning a car. We need cars, so we pay for cars. And then we have to pay for all the other industries charging us for our cars. And that's what this episode is mainly about. Not the cars, but all the parasites around the cars. The leeches, The car leeches. And speaking of siphoning stuff, let your body go slack and allow these ads to suck you off. Not in a sexual way. Come on, grow up. I mean like your spirit. Do as the ads say. Folks, do you remember a time when the news wasn't life? Like, you did things in the world outside of the news. You don't remember that? Fantastic. Because I want to talk to you about Ground News, which you can find via the QR code on the screen. That's a website and an app that we specifically wanted to sponsor us. It gathers news from around the world from the entire political spectrum and allows you to compare coverage and get your facts right. Facts like how Donald Trump fired the Librarian of Congress and replaced her with the guy who represented him at his criminal trial, which he lost, who is also already the Deputy Attorney General for some reason. A guy who is not, as it turns out, a librarian. And looking at Ground News, it's clear that right-leaning sources are just kind of ignoring this. I guess if you've got nothing nice to say, you know? Like the saying goes. Also, interestingly, the former Librarian of Congress was a black woman, and the current acting librarian is a white guy, something even the non-right-wing sources fail to mention in their headlines. At any rate, you can get all these headlines, plus context on each publication over at ground.news/SMN. With that link, you will save 40% off unlimited access. Ground News will help you stay informed, give you a factuality chart of major sources, and reveal your own news bias, if applicable. That's ground.news/SMN to get 40% off unlimited access for yourself or someone you know. The link is in the description. Use it.
You know, I used to have such a hard time sleeping. At first, I thought it was this Tannis root my next door neighbor Minnie gave me, which I was wearing around my neck at all times. But turns out it was my mattress. And thankfully, I got Elisa, which is a mattress. It has transformed my sleep from waking nightmare to sleeping right there. Lisa had a mattress model designed for my specific sleep preferences, and I am getting unprecedented comfort and support, which comes in handy with all these Tannis root side effects, which are totally normal, Minnie says. My dog, Benny. You know Benny. You love Benny. Well, Benny loves my mattress too. I mean, we are reaching unprecedented levels of cuddling, people. Plus, there's free delivery, simple returns, and you get 100 nights to try out the mattress first in the comfort of your own home. So go to leesa.com to get 30% off mattresses plus a free sleep bundle. That's 2 free pillows and a microfiber sheet set. It's a Memorial Day sale. If that's what it's still called. I don't know. Has the holiday name been changed yet? Who's to say? And if you use our promo code MORENEWS, you will get an extra $50 off. That is LEESA.com. Promo code MORENEWS for 30% off mattresses, the sleep bundle, and an extra $50 off. This is not a dream, my friends. This is really happening. Remember, no matter who you are, there's a Lisa just for you.
Hey there! Welcome back from those ads. Unless you didn't have any ads, in which case, welcome back from nothing, you lucky ducks. We've been talking about how much owning a car just kinda sucks, but we all have to buy one anyway, because you can't walk up to the drive-thru unless you're drunk, and then you're just being very responsible. But we don't just have to buy a car, we also have to buy car insurance. And even though it's literally against the law for you to drive without insurance, only a few states offer government-sponsored car insurance programs, and even those are just for low-income families who qualify. The vast majority of people have to buy it from a private company. And this legally mandated private insurance policy will cost you a regular monthly premium. And that premium is currently rising in America. And now it's time to wonder aloud why that is. Also, why does it just suck to begin with? Well, let's say you're in an accident. I'm not saying it's your fault. Maybe you rammed a replica Batmobile into the side of a building to save some nuns from whatever might be threatening them. Presumably, other larger nuns. But whatever the cause, your vehicle has suffered catastrophic damage, and now you have to file a claim with your insurance provider to hopefully cover the cost of the repairs. First off, a lot of policies will use broader language or vague definitions of words like